YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Crowd. Welcome back to another vid. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. And make sure to follow me on all platforms at I Am Cry. Today we got a great one! For those that don't know, man, there was a point in my life where I was at rock bottom, right? I was broke, depressed, sleeping on the floor, beating my dick every fucking day, walking to the fucking clothes basket, wiping it off, scrolling on Instagram again, and then beating it over and over and over again, right? To the point where I was insecure around chicks. Chicks were playing me to the left, right? I would go on chicks with dates, they would see that I'm losing my hair, and they would ghost me. I was at rock bottom, brother. Hated every day of my life, working jobs that I hated, I dreaded, right? And I had to figure out how the fuck do I get out of this situation. And I came to the realization, I remember the day verbatim, I looked in the motherfucking mirror and I said, something has to change. I looked at my physique and I was a dweeb. I looked at my hair and it was gone. I looked at my confidence and it wasn't there. It was non-existent, right? And I said, something has to give, something has to change. I no longer want to live like this, right? And the gym was the foundation to make the transformation of the man that you see today, right? I showed up month 1, didn't see no results. Month 3, didn't see no results. Month 6, didn't see no results. Month 7, month 8, month 9, boom, it hit. And the gym tried directing me to replicate that same formula in other areas of life because it taught me so many lessons. Delayed gratifications, patience, consistency, persistency, routine, pain, hating happiness. And now I've built an unbreakable mindset, which is even more valuable than my physique. But on that journey, changing my physique and my mindset, fellas, I did so much personal development. I read books, I created systems, went through a whole bunch of trial and error that trajected me to create a process that is pretty much inevitable when you follow it, right? And within that, I was able to create a YouTube channel and grow my channel from 0 to 10K subs in less than 5 months, right? Which propelled me to allow me to help men build the foundation to become 1% man, to get results like Giselle, losing 50 fucking pounds in 22 weeks without restrictive diets. Or my brother Paul, gaining 40 pounds of lean muscle without dirty bulking, right? But fitness is just one aspect of 1% Academy, right? My brother Jonathan, not only were we able to get him the physique that you're seeing above, right? But one of the components we've been able to work out within his brotherhood is building his YouTube and building his personal brand. Jonathan was able to grow his channel to 740 subs in 100 days. Today, it's been 100 days. He's grown his channel to 740 subs. It typically takes, fellas, 5 to 7 months to do that. We did it in 3. Right? And today I'm gonna share with you the step-by-step process that not only Jonathan used, but I use to grow my YouTube channel to 0 to 10K. So if you're looking for a quick dopamine, brother, oh, Cry, motivate me because I'm a dweeb and I need to hear your voice so I can lock in, click the fuck off. This is for motherfuckers looking to grow their personal brand, grow their YouTube so they can check every single C, cut charisma, traits, character, clout, cash, combat, right? And get the fuck out of their 9 to 5 the same way that I did. This is the perfect video for you, brother. So without further ado, I'm not gonna waste any more time. Don't just take in what I'm saying, brother. Apply it, please, to become the man you wanna be. So let's get right into it, fellas.
How's everything been?
Everything's been good, man. I've been able to be consistent, I would say. I was able to go through my power list, all that stuff, everything. Yeah, everything's good overall. Okay.
Say no more, doggy. Say no more.
Mhm.
Um, all right, doggy. So the main objective of this call, brother, is to script out two together, right?
Yeah.
So out of these four, which do you like the best?
Let's see. Out of those four, um, I think let me double check the ones I sent you. I would say one and two. I mean, yeah, one and two. Because number three, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really had an issue with lust, so I just know that that's like a video like you talked about a little bit of how overcoming lust, and so that's why I just do that. And so I would say number one and two are things that I could really go in depth in and really talk about and really have like a really good breakdown video on. So I would say one and two.
Okay. First and foremost, let's do number one first, right?
Okay.
First and foremost, you're telling them the video in this title, right? How I
Hmm.
built confidence and reinvented myself through the gym in 6 months. It should just be how I built confidence and reinvented myself, right? So hold on, how I built confidence, and this is in your notes, so you'll see it when it's
Okay,
done.
nice. Okay.
Confidence and reinvented, dang, reinvented Invented myself. Boom. And then I will put in parentheses in 6 months, right? Something like that, right?
Okay.
And then I would probably even capitalize reinvent, right? You're telling them the video already in a way, which is not the end of the world sometimes. Like you can say how to lose 10 pounds. So like they know they're going to learn how to lose 10 pounds in the video, but like there's so many different avenues that you could go down with reinventing yourself in regards to confidence. You don't want to tell them that it's just the gym. And even if it is just the gym, let them figure it out in the video.
Yeah.
You always want to, if possible, have some type of mystery or cliffhanger in the title, right?
Okay.
Okay, how I built confidence and reinvent myself in 6 months. Okay, now off rip, your main thesis of thoughts. Is it just the gym?
Yeah. Yeah. The gym, my nutrition, staying consistent with that. Because before I was eating like random foods. It wasn't even like I was like, just subconsciously eating like bad foods. So being more disciplined, like just being more disciplined on what I was eating, putting in my body, and then committing myself to the gym. Even on days where I was tired, I'd still find a way to go to the gym. So yeah, it was mainly how I built confidence through the gym and nutrition. So yeah.
Okay. How much did you weigh before you? How much did you used to weigh? How much do you weigh now?
I used to weigh when I first started my fitness journey, I was like literally almost 300 pounds. Now I'm at like 219. So yeah.
How long it take you?
It took me a while. So it took me like because I was always going up and down. So it took me like I'd say like a year and a half. I could have done it in 6 months if I was really disciplined, 6 months to a year, but it took me like a year and a half, honestly.
Gotcha. Okay. 18 months. All right. During this time, I was unconfident. Okay. Now, I need real life examples in depth of how you were unconfident, brother.
Okay. I can definitely go into detail on that. For me, I didn't like I was very antisocial. I didn't like going out to different events. I didn't have
Stop.
any.
Stop.
Oh,
Why?
okay. Because I was really self-conscious of how I looked. I knew I was big, and I knew I wasn't like the best looking guy. I didn't feel like I was good looking. Um, I started developing a lot of acne and stuff. I don't have acne now, but back then I guess people were saying, how you eat can also affect your skin. So I was seeing my skin looking like shit. So that's another thing. Didn't really have any friends back then. Wasn't.
Stop.
Okay.
So you if I had a scale of like 1 to 10 with how in depth you're going right now, you're at about a 5, right?
Okay. Okay.
Like we're right now we haven't gotten to the bullet points of like what you did to build your confidence. Right now we're just painting a picture for them, right? So if
Okay.
this was me, my name was Edward. I would say for those that don't know, I used to weigh almost 300 pounds and I was able to lose 80 pounds in 18 months. I could have did it a lot faster if I knew everything I know now, but back then there was a lot of trial and error and trial and error. And during this time, fellas, I was extremely unconfident, right? One of the
Mhm.
aspects of being unconfident, I was antisocial. I hated who the fuck I saw in the mirror. I looked in the mirror every fucking day and saw them fucking zits on my face. Obviously, you don't have to say fucking, but I'd be like,
Mhm.
and it just made me unconfident. I know that women didn't want guys with zits on their face. Not only that, but like I looked down, and I couldn't even see my dick. My fat was hanging out of my jaw strap. Like I remember this one time, and my friends asked me to go out. Boom, and that's explaining the antisocial, right? So give me the
Mhm.
next.
You could actually add that part. That I couldn't see my dick. I guess you could say because the fat was hanging over. It was actually so. That was one thing. I was super scared to talk to women. Like I saw women as like this super super high pedestal. Didn't even think I deserved to even be in the same room as them. And sometimes like it was really bad, bad stuff. But yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so when you were putting on a woman on the pedestal, you felt undeserving. What story do you have to connect with that? Every
So
man has.
I remember I was going to community college around this time, and there was this girl who I thought she was pretty good looking, and I literally would just get nervous to even just look at her. I couldn't even look at her. And like every time I'd want to ask her a simple question like, "Hey, you know how to get this answer?" I was literally stuttering. And she seemed pretty like chill, but I didn't even really pick up on that. So I was just like in my head all the time. couldn't like interact with simple women in classes that I was with, consistently seeing. Yeah, that was one time I could think of.
Boom, right? So that to me, you on the scale now, you at about a 7.5. But I need you to go like really, really in depth, right? Like I remember like I had asked her, tell us what you asked her, and like recreate you stuttering
Hmm.
how
Okay.
you this stuff matters, bro. Like this is the number storytelling, entertainment value. Storytelling is the most important one. Are you familiar with Steph Code?
Yes.
He is the king of this. Steph Code don't say shit, but some good ass stories,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
imagine if you can tell stories just as good as Steph Code, but also give value and also be entertaining, right?
Hmm.
Okay. What else? We got antisocial, scared to talk to women. Talk to me.
Okay. Give another example. Or you said go more in depth on.
I want to. We're kind of just still warming them up a little bit. So if you don't have anything left, that's fine. This is just a
Okay.
little mini intro. But right now, I'm just trying to paint the picture of how unconfident you were when you were a fat fuck. The more, the
Okay.
better. So
Yeah.
that it was that trust, that authority, and that relatability. So once you get into the solutions, they're gonna listen to you.
Okay. Another situation, I would say I didn't like taking pictures of myself. I know my family, they would like to go out. I mean, when we go out on vacation, they like to take pictures, and I hated being in the photos because I'd always see how big my face was, how fat I was. So I always hated being in pictures. Very, very like hated the idea of being.
Hold on, wait. You hated. You was embarrassed to take pics with family on vacation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the story with that? Where
I
did y'all
remember,
go?
yeah. I know one time we went to a Europe trip, and my mom was wanting to take pictures of me, and I would always get mad because I didn't want her to take pictures of me because I didn't like how I was looking. I saw how big I was getting, and she would show me the pictures. So literally, she would have to like sneakily take pictures when I wasn't looking for her to even get a picture of me. But every time she would be like, "Hey, let's take a photo," I'd be like, "No, I don't want to be in a picture." So there's a lot of memories when I was out of the country that I can't really even show because I didn't want to be in pictures. The only ones that I have that she has are ones where I wasn't even looking at the picture at the camera. So yeah.
Okay, you're getting a little bit better, doggy. Now I would say you had a 7.5. You could still go more in depth though, right? What were your thoughts when your mom would show you a picture? Would your heart drop when she would say, "Hey, it's time to take a picture"? Like, would you get the
Yeah.
weird feeling in your stomach? Don't lie, but if it's
Yeah.
there, talk about it.
Yeah. I would say I had the feeling of knowing I wasn't looking the best in any picture that she was taking. So I knew that the picture wasn't going to come out good. So I'd always get in an argument with her about me not wanting to be in pictures, and she would always say, "Hey, it's not that bad." Obviously, as a mom, she doesn't know what I'm really thinking of inside. That I know I'm not the best looking. So she would argue. We would have little arguments over, "Hey, I want to take a picture of you, my son," and that's like, "No, I don't want to be in a picture." But now I'm freely able to do that because I'm more confident now in myself, so I can do that now. But back then it was just like I didn't like how I was looking. I was looking like a dweeb. You can say I had a fat face, big stomach, looked like a yeah. I didn't like how I was looking.
You got to say all of that, bro. But don't just see how you cut yourself off and you was like, "Yeah, I didn't like how I was looking." Nah, keep going down that rabbit hole. I was a dweeb, I was X, I was Y, I was Z.
Yeah.
Keep going, right?
Okay.
Okay. What else you got for me in regards to in what ways were you unconfident before you lost 80 pounds?
Okay. Another way. We mentioned antisocial. Let's see. Didn't have any friends actually. So, um, didn't like didn't interact with people in general. I was literally just go to school. Well, back then I didn't really have any direction. I was going to community college, so still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So I was just going to community college, working a fast food job, coming home, watching TV, animes, and just going to sleep. And didn't really step out the house, do anything on the weekends. Didn't interact with nobody. So didn't build any like relationship with anybody for like a few years. So
Okay,
I didn't feel
stop.
comfortable. Yeah.
You're doing a better, you're still in that 7 range, right? What does a
Hmm.
day-to-day look like? I had no friends, fellas. I was really by myself on a day-to-day basis. Like I remember even week to week, I would just wake up, go to school, come home. My favorite show was fucking Love Island at the time. I would eat like shit and watch that. Like I just was a dweeb. I didn't have no direction with my life. I was lost, right?
Hmm.
What I was gonna do. It was some days, fellas, you don't have to say this, but this is just cry. Some days,
Yeah.
fellas, I'm like, I didn't even want to be here. I'm be honest. Like I felt worthless, right? I hated who I saw in the mirror. And a lot of times, and this is what I would say again, don't say this if you. A lot of times, like with the reason I didn't want friends is because like I was so insecure with myself. I thought if I got around other people, they would think the same thoughts that I was thinking about myself, right? And I
Mhm.
didn't want that. I didn't want to feel that feeling. Like that's how in depth you got to go, right? So you're doing a
Yeah.
better job, but I want you to dig deep. So when I'm scripting this out, and I'm like, I'm the stuff that I'm caps locking is like in regards to the story time. I want you to like dive super deep into that.
Okay.
Super. My fault. I cut you off though. Keep going with the no friends in no direction. If you still have more.
Yeah, I would say go more in depth. If you want to go a little more depth, I would say there were days, I can remember vividly is that like I said, I would have no direction, no purpose, and I would go at home at night and I'll sleep alone, knowing as a guy I had no direction. I would literally just just bawl my eyes out in my sleep. Like I'd cry, I'd be alone in my sleep crying, and then just because I'd be
Mm,
upset that like, damn, I have no direction, I have no purpose, and I was literally crying myself to sleep, thinking like, hey, why am I even here on this earth? Like I felt days like if I wasn't here, like things would still move on. And I have no purpose or motivation to do anything. There's no direction for me. I'd always ask God, why is there like nothing looking out for me? People aren't like helping me out. It's just me figuring the shit out myself. So that was pretty much my mindset back then.
we getting somewhere. Okay, you
Yeah.
in the 8 range. That was better. That was a lot
Okay.
better. I felt that. I didn't feel like I was on a call with my brother. I felt like I was watching a YouTube video and you was telling me I was crying myself to sleep. That's the standard. Okay, what else you got for me in regards
Yeah.
to how you felt from an unconfident standpoint before you got jacked?
Okay. So then after, okay, let's see. Let me think. I gotta think about my history at the city.
If you don't have anything, it's okay. That's another thing too. When you get stuck, move on to the next thing and come back to it if need be. Right. So let's hop into the points now. Right.
Mhm.
Give me the 3 to 4 points. I believe you said it about 10 minutes ago, but say it one more time of like how you build confidence. Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I built confidence through obviously physical changes. So seeing physical changes after like a month or two, I saw my face got leaner. The initial weight loss phase was like, okay, this is what I realized. Okay, this is what I can do long term and really see me look like a completely different person. Was seeing physical changes, my face looking slimmer, going
So
to
like
the gym.
so basically strength training.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm listening now.
So yeah, strength training, seeing how my body was transforming very early on. So as I mentioned, I was seeing some little muscle definition, some my body pointing up a little bit, and as a result, I just started to develop a good amount of confidence that okay, I'm looking better than I did a few months ago prior. So just keep being consistent. I know I'll look like a completely different person once I was done. So I built confidence by going to the gym, committing to myself. Even on like obviously some days I may not feel like going, but I still push myself to go. And during those times when I'm going, when I know I should, during those times when I'm going to the gym, when I don't feel like it, I tell myself that most people aren't doing what I'm doing right now. So I use that to like separate myself mentally from most people because I started to have a mindset shift that most people aren't going to the gym 5, 6 days a week. Most people aren't even going to the gym at all. They're just going to work, eating food, and just watching the football games. For me, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to watch somebody else live their dreams. I wanted to make my own dream a reality. So that's why I wanted to really focus on myself and develop that confidence of going to the gym consistently to just separate myself because I know I just built confidence knowing that most people aren't doing what I'm doing. So I automatically know that I'm kind of better than I don't want to I'd say, but I'm doing better than most people physically because most people aren't going to the gym, tracking their foods, eating consistently the right things they need to eat, putting the right things in their body. So I know already physically and the health aspect of doing, I know to myself that I'm doing better than most people. Financially, I'm still got ways to go, but I just know physically I'm already ahead of most people. Um, that's just like a part of the confidence that I've built. Telling myself every day.
Gotcha. Okay, let's dive a little bit deeper, right? Let's
Mhm.
let's let's stick with the external, right? So I love that you said you look better than most people, right? Most people, 99% of people do not have 8 to 10% body fat, right? You did 1%, right? So outside of that though, like did your clothes fit better? You know,
Oh
did
yeah,
you,
yeah.
okay.
A lot of the old clothes, a lot of the old clothes that I was wearing when I was big, just got super like loose and I couldn't wear them because I just got super lean, and I literally had to throw out like 90% of my clothes and had to go re-shopping, because all the old clothes that I was wearing, because I used to shop at DXL, and now none of those clothes fit me like snug. I wear a few of them to the gym, those baggy clothes, but all my clothes that I was wearing when I was big are super baggy now. So I just wear I have to literally do a whole revamp of my clothing. and buy new clothing that fitted, and I go to different stores now to get these clothes now. But yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we got a story with the clothes fitting better, but we don't have a story about how you just looked better than most men. Like for me, it's always a realization when I go to the airport or the mall. Like I look around like, holy
Oh
shit,
yeah,
I
yeah.
acting motherfuckers are dweebs. What was that first realization for you? Do you remember?
The very, very first time, no, but I realize it now. But I would say, actually, no. So the very first time, I guess I would say was, just walking on college campus and seeing
Mm.
how, most people are just big. They like to go to food court. Even the friends that I was starting to develop, I realized some of my friends were big. Um, and I had to kind of like distance myself because they were still trying to do certain things that I wasn't no longer trying to do. Obviously, all my coworkers are big. They always like to order pizza for lunch or go out to eat because they have like a company card. So they're always trying to go out and eat. And I always try to tell them, hey, I got my own food. I can't go out to eat with you guys. So, and yeah, going to Walmart, obviously, you'll see them up every day at Walmart every day. So, yeah.
Okay, you moving back to the 6'7" range. So that's okay, but it needs to be like, so let's say that I'm on this point of the vid, right? Can you see my
Mhm.
screen pretty good or you need me
Yeah,
to
I can
blow
see
it up?
it. I can see it.
Okay, so from an external standpoint, fellas, like I really just noticed that I looked better than everybody else, right? I realized that 99% of men don't have 8 to 10% body fat, and I did. That put me in that 1 percentile for this or this aspect of life as a man, right?
Hmm.
And it really hit me this one time, and I'm walking down my college campus, right? And I'm looking around and I'm walking with my friends, and there's so many men, and I'm like, wow, like I used to really be just like this.
Yeah.
Now I'm not. And once I realized that, like the confidence just shifted, even to the point where I had to distance myself from some of my friends. I love them to death, but fellas, you got to understand, you a product of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? If I wanted to keep elevated and maintain the physique I had, I couldn't eat like shit like a lot of my friends were, right? Then you just
Hmm.
giving value, which is kind of like, again, we're not selling fitness and nutrition. We're selling what comes with it, the sacrifice you got to make that come with it, right?
Hmm.
People just want to be, people want to get in shape because of what comes with it, right? So on
Yeah.
that journey, what comes with it, you got to say, hey, like you could make this whole video about cutting off friends if you wanted to, and you would
Yeah.
still get leads, right? So it doesn't have to be directly correlated to fitness, but that's a perfect way for you to provide more value about the importance of your environment, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So the best videos, you're always gonna have a story with each point. So far, so we got one. So you look better in clothes, right? Obviously, you just got more confidence, like looking around at other motherfuckers, like, damn, I look better than these motherfuckers. What else from an external standpoint would you say? Like, I'm trying to think as well. Um,
Had more energy, I would say, throughout the day because I know when I was big and fat, I had no energy. Yeah, I was literally just like lethargic and just going through the motion. But now like, I'm more aware of my surroundings now. Um, Everything's on point. I would say I'm really diligent on my day
do
to
you have
day.
stories about when you were fat and like you did something that was very simple, but like you couldn't do it,
That's a good one. Let me think. Let me think. I gotta think.
or something that you do now that you can say, man, when I was fat, I would have never been able to do that from an energy standpoint.
Hmm.
Either one.
Yeah, I would say a good one would be you know, simply walking. So one good example was when in class, one of my classes are on the third floor. So I know when I was big and fat, I'd always use the elevator, and anytime I want to use the stairs, I know I'd be super gassed. I had to literally stop each and every flight. But now I always take the elevator to go up to class. No problem. I'm not even sweating or anything like that. I just noticed that like that small thing of, you know, the weight I used to carry isn't as much as it used to be. So I'm able to walk stairs with relative ease now. Simple stuff like that. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, perfect. All right. You got anything else from an external standpoint?
So then what else? That's no, I can't think of any right now.
Anything? Okay, let's move to internal, right? So
Hmm.
I said a few things. You were talking fast, but I tried to get as much as I could. Um, First was like you committed to yourself, right? So
Hmm.
how I would describe this, Cry would say the reason why a lot of men aren't confident is because they continuously break the promises to themselves. All confidence is proof, right? Once I
Yeah.
committed to myself that I could show up to the gym, I had the proof, right? So I
Hmm.
would just like elaborate. Um, on, I'll just call it PP, or I'll put it promises and proof, right? Something like that. We'll have this call recording too if you want to rewatch it.
Okay.
And I want to see if you have a story that connects with. It don't even have to be fitness related. Just anything when you were fat that you would say you were gonna do, but you kept not doing it. It could be approaching a chick. It could be saying you're gonna take photos on this vacation, but not really doing it. It could be fitness as well. Like, were there any instances where you kept breaking promises to yourself when you were fat?
Yeah, I can think of a couple. So, like I know, like I mentioned to you earlier, how I was never really confident enough to talk to chicks and go up to chicks. So I know when I started getting leaner and started losing more weight, I would entertain the idea of going out with one of my friends to a party or something like that, or a club. And when I would go out to these clubs, my friends would just tell me, "Hey, if you see a chick you like, just talk to her. Literally, just walk up to her, even if she dubs you, just go to her." And I know I was telling myself that I was nervous at first, but I built confidence. I was like, okay, I look decent, so I would literally just go up to chicks, left and right. Some would curve me. I would get some chick's number. We'd talk and hang out. So I just know that I would just tell myself, damn, if this was just like 6 months ago, there was no way in hell I would have been able to walk up to a random chick I'd seen who looks good. And now I just walk up to any chick that I think looks good and just say what's up. I mean, now I don't even like going to the club anymore. I'm still way more focused on my purpose, and I want to get to a point where I don't have to really do all that. But I know last summer was when I was, entertaining, going out a little bit more. I was pretty lean back. I'm still lean, but I was still in a good shape. So I built confidence to just walk up to chicks and talk to them like they were normal people. Because I know before I wasn't able to do that because I put them on such a pedestal.
You being general again, though, right? So I need to know the day in the summer, how the day went. I remember this one time, fellas, it was the 4th of July. I was with my homeboys. We was all celebrating. We went to this carnival, and I was lean. I had a wife beater on. My muscle was showing, right? I was looking good, had a fresh cut, right? And I was just feeling myself so much. I said, man, if I see something I like at this event, I'm going to approach her, right? And it was this bad shorty, fella. She had blonde hair, blue shirt. She had on these blue jeans. She was getting a fucking elephant ear. And I just went up to her and I approached her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting a number, fellas. But what I'm trying to tell you is I would have never did that when I was fat, right? They wouldn't even have the guts to go to the carnival, let alone wear a wife beater. So you
Mm-hmm.
see how I'm
Yeah.
painting the picture, bro. Right
Yeah.
now, and it's gonna take reps to get used to, right? But like when you're scripting, that's what I want you to write out. And one thing that's gonna help you a lot when you're scripting, record it right after you script. Because I'm to the point now, when I script and I record, I'm such in a flow state that I remember what's next.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I don't even have to look at the script because it's just I just did it, right? And a
Right,
lot
yeah.
of times, similar to what we did here, how the standard was to talk about how you looked at the college campus and realized, holy shit, I'm more jacked than other motherfuckers. But it kind of trajected us to talk about friends in your environment. So a lot of times, bro, you'll that's the great thing about stories. So once you get into this story about the 4th of July carnival and you approach the chick, it
Mm-hmm.
might propel you to speak about something else related. And that's when you get into a flow state, and that's when you're making them 30 to 40-minute videos and you
Mm-hmm.
cooking, right?
Yeah.
But you're getting better with it. But again, you got to tell me, give me a day in the summer of what happened. What did she look like? How did you feel when you got her number? Did you end up dating her? Did you end up smashing? Did you not? Whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got to break down step by step by step. Okay. So we
Okay.
got a story. Okay. Showing up on the days you didn't want to. Okay. If it was me, I would say something like, man, once I got the physique, the external results were cool, fellas. But once I looked in the mirror and know I showed up on days, even when I really didn't want to, it just gave me that competitive edge as a man, right? I
Mm-hmm.
knew that most days when men didn't want to show up, I did, right?
Yeah.
And then I would give them a specific day where like everything was going wrong and you still showed up. Do you have any days like that?
Yeah, a couple. I'm trying to think of one good day. I'd say a specific date. Let me
I
agree.
think it's like the shittiest day ever that every man can relate to. Like it can even be I beat my dick. I had a worst day at work. The chick broke. It could be anything.
Yeah. I don't know the specific date, but I can obviously make that. I know it was over the summer as well. I remember, I woke up late to go to work, and when I got to work, my coworkers were giving me shit about it, and I had to deal with that all day. And then as a result, then when I went home, when I got in my car, my car broke down, and I literally had to wait on the roadside. I was on the highway too, the main highway, those express highways in Texas, Turnpike, George Bush Turnpike, and then I was there for like an hour, and I was heading home because I left my gym clothes at home, so I was gonna head home and drive an hour back home just to get my gym clothes to go to the gym. My car broke down. I was there. I was on the road for like 4 hours waiting for roadside assistance to come pick me up, and I was literally just exhausted. I just wanted to go home and sleep. But I still made sure I hit that gym session, even though it was late and I was upset, tired. I had no food in my stomach. I didn't even want to eat. I just wanted to go home, change, and just head out. So that was one time where I realized, damn, I'm really committed to this shit, even though, I was delayed, I was stalled. The overall day wasn't productive in my opinion, and still found time to hit the gym.
Exactly. I want to point out something to you that's not directly correlated with what we're doing, but something to keep in mind. So that story you just told me, that's about winning test days, right? That
Mm-hmm.
is a whole video, right? Best
Okay.
thing about you being a new channel is that everything's fresh and you could talk about anything. I'm
Yeah.
at one of the hardest points because I done talked about a lot. And if I re-talk about something, I got to get creative within doing so, right? Or if I talked about something new, I have to make sure it hit, right? Once you get 1,000 videos in, you can go back to this video and be like, I can make a video just about winning test days.
Okay.
So that's something to keep in mind as well. Like we're still in point one, right? With all of this information. This from the intro to point one, we're already at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is why scripting is so key. Okay. All right. Great story with that. This kind of connects to that. Showing up even when you don't, doing what most refuse to do. Those are kind of like one and the same. So we'll take that off. Anything else from an internal standpoint that like were you less stressed?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely less stress. I had more purpose started to like align. So before, like I said, I had no direction, didn't know what I wanted to do with life. Um, so then after I started committing myself to the gym, I just realized, certain avenues and certain aspects for me to get into, like, potentially getting into fitness coaching, and then just also just in my job in general, just like how I even got my job was, I feel like how I looked, maybe sound weird, but I think how I looked helped me get the job initially because I was in really good, I was in good shape. I was wearing a pretty tight uh fitted suit when I came in for the interview, and I feel like that gave me an edge over most people who have gotten the job that I'm currently working, because I don't
I'm
feel
out.
like,
I'm out. You gotta go so in depth with that.
okay.
But you're gonna move this to external, right? Because that's the external, right? So you can kind of connect this to, nah, this is its own. I was gonna connect it to the close, but it's really not. It is close, but it's not. But it's not close because it's really like a new job opportunity, right?
Mhm.
So I want you to go into the story time with that.
Okay.
But go ahead about the less stress and then finding your purpose. I'm still listening.
Yeah, so I would say, I was able to really have clarity um before, as far as like, what I wanted to do with myself. Um, I wasn't always having clouded judgment, more free time to just like I had a structured program, so as a result, pretty much everything there was pretty much, yeah. That's all I can pretty much say as far as like the stress and the mentality. It was just clear. I'm kind of trying to think of a specific instance though where that was the case. Because it just happened through time, and it was like maybe subconsciously that it was happening, but uh,
Those are daily tiny battles I want you to win. I want, especially early on, because you have so much to talk about.
mhm,
Early on, I want you to try to connect a story with every point. But if you get stuck like you are now and you can't really think of a specific story, it's not the end of the world. It's okay, right?
okay.
You just have to figure out how can I give a lot of value right here, right? So you can
Mhm,
say, if it was me, I would be like, um, one thing you have to understand about, um, on this journey to be your best self, fellas, is that every man needs to release stress, right? The problem is that a lot of men do it with the wrong vices. A lot of men want to smoke. A lot of men want to drink. A lot of men want to beat their meat, right? I
mhm,
chose the gym,
yeah.
right? That's how I was able to have less stress and a mental clarity to find what my purpose was. Boom. So I didn't really tell a story, but I gave value, right?
Mhm.
I did kind of tell a story, but not with myself, with other men,
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
You're a coach, right? So like, okay, I don't have a personal story. What do other men stress about before they strength train? Okay, cool. Boom. Right. So
Mhm,
I think this should be the start of this point, right? And then once you paint the picture, because this is going to bring out a lot of emotion, right? After
Mhm.
you bring out emotion, right? This is perfect. Okay. So now this would be very easy for you.
Mhm.
Talk about what exactly did you do? What was your split? Did you time your breaks? How often did you do cardio? Just from a strength training aspect, what did you do to get
Yeah.
this? Right. So
Okay.
this should be easy, right. So
Yeah.
I'll just talk about split, nothing nutrition related, just gym, split,
Okay.
cardio, um, anything you
Sauna.
did, so nutrition, everything you did, right? Then that's when you could throw in a soft call to action. CTA is call to action, right?
Okay.
So when I do vlogs, people think my vlogs, I'll be like taking a break from like yelling and the whiteboard and trying to get clients. Nah, I'm just doing it in a different way. When I'm doing vlogs and I'm recording calls, that is a soft CTA. If I get
Mhm.
on a call and I celebrate a win, like, bro, you just lost 10 pounds and I'm recording it for a vlog, you know how many guys I done got from that? Because it's like real, right? So
Yeah.
this is that in a different way, right? So
Mhm.
you talking about how you got confidence externally and internally from going to the gym, what exactly you did. After you tell them what you did could say, by the way, if you want to work one-on-one with me to get the same results I did, right, in less than 18 months, right? I'll put the link in the description, book a call.
Mm. Okay.
Boom, right?
Okay.
And it doesn't seem forced,
Mhm.
right? Like you didn't start the point off like, if you I gain confidence from strength training. If you want to do the same, come on this journey with me. You painted this big ass picture right here. And now they all the emotions is in it. They didn't listen to all the stories. Now you're giving them a solution to do it. And then you telling them I can do it with you. Oh fuck, let me do it with him. Some of the stories he was telling me is the exact shit I'm going through.
Mhm.
The feeling that he got internally are the exact feelings I want to get. Got him. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So what are the other you really for this video we going so in depth you really only need 3 points max. What were the other three? Were the other three nutrition? Talk to me. I honestly don't remember.
Oh, the other one I sent you. I think it was another one similar.
No, not videos,
Oh.
but bullet points for this
Uh,
video.
mhm. Um. Let's see.
You want to know what's interesting? If you can't think of nothing else, Edward, these are your 3 bullet points right here.
Yeah, I was
Number
looking
one,
at. Yeah.
external results. Number two, internal results. Number three, the step-by-step process. And then you would just throw in the call to action at the end of number three.
Mhm.
Right? This is a video. This is a 20-minute video at least.
At least, yeah,
Right?
for sure.
So you could just do these be your 3 points, or you could add more. You tell me, what do you want to do?
I think this would be a good. Those three, I can definitely go in depth and talk about that.
Awesome. Okay. Right. So
I
let's
still got
put
the intro too, where I talk about all that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you got 1, 2, 3, right? So since
Mhm.
we're only doing these three, what you can do, obviously, whether you do a whiteboard video or you outside it talking, however you want to do this vid, don't write CTA on the whiteboard. This is more so just for
Of
you to
course.
remember.
Yeah.
But this you would write. So for the bullet points on the whiteboard, I wouldn't even write results. I would just put external, then I'll put internal, and then I would put step. I would just put process. Boom. Right. So
Mhm.
since you're not since at first we are gonna do strength training, I told you not to throw in anything nutrition related. Now I want you to. Right. So when you get into the process, not only tell them you're splitting the cardio, tell them everything you did nutrition related.
Nutrition,
I
okay.
want you to feel like you're giving your program away on this video. I want you to
Okay.
give them all the sauce because one thing you want to understand, unfortunately, most people aren't going to do it. And the ones
Mhm.
that do, kudos to them. We helped another man, right?
Yep.
Which is our in standard. But people don't pay for information, they pay for implementation, right?
Mhm.
Stuff that I'm helping you with is stuff I've said on YouTube before. I've said on YouTube, in regards to YouTube, you got to tell a story, have value, be entertaining. But I'm
Mhm.
sitting here implementing it with you with your specific story. That's what
Yeah.
you pay for, right? So you could tell them everything to lose 80 pounds in 18 months or less. But it's different when you building out that Google calendar with them because they work 312s. It's different when they allergic to a certain type of food and you got to help them. It's
Mhm.
different when, you know, they don't really want to cook, so they got to do meal delivery and they don't know how many macros to do for each meal with factor 75 and you help them. That's the implementation. That's what they're paying for. So don't ever feel like, damn, I'm telling them too much. You're never telling them too much.
Okay.
Right. So boom. This is a solid video, bro. Obviously, I know we only had time to do one. We can literally do one every call if you want to.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Was this helpful?
100% helpful. Just breaking it down, showing me the blueprint. I can go off this and really go in depth and even, yeah, 100%.
My guy. Okay, so all I do from here, it looks really sloppy, right? So I'll just copy it, and then I will go. Let me know if you can still see my screen.
Yep.
Okay. So I go to ChatGPT, and
Mhm.
then I would say clean up, comma, but do not change my verbiage at all. Boom. Paste. Just gonna clean it up for you, right?
Mhm.
And then I just once it's done, I just copy it, boom, back here, and then paste. Boom. Right. This is at least a 15-minute video. At
Yeah,
least.
at
Really,
least.
if you're cooking in them stories, it could be 30,
You could,
right?
yeah, I'm thinking of 30, pushing to 30.
But this is a sample size of like how I'm able to do like those like 80, like I just did an 85-minute weight vest video outside, right?
I saw
This
that,
would be 1 point. This will be 1 point, right?
yeah. Mhm.
And it seems like, damn, crowd, I'm spending, because we spent 30 minutes on this, probably another 30 minutes we could have got like 2 or 3 more points done. So it's like, damn, crowd, I'm spending like an hour scripting. Yes, but think about it like this: you spend an hour scripting, hour recording, an hour editing. That's 3 hours, right? 3 hours for one video, right?
Mhm.
That one video, depending on where you're at in your journey, like for me, one video is going to give me 2 to 3 clients, which can be $2,000 to $6,000, right? So I spent 4 hours getting potentially 6,000. So
Yeah.
I'm at, what's 6,000 divided by 4? 6,000 divided by 4. I made $1,500 an hour. You can't beat that.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
It's tedious, right? But
Mhm.
it's better than a 9 to 5.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? All
100%.
right, dog.
All right.
Um, does this same time work for you next Saturday?
Yes. Same time I like this time, yeah.
All right, bet. I'm gonna send you a email confirmation now, brother. But before I let you go, do you got any questions?
Um, no, not really. Not any questions. Just overall, I was gonna. Oh, as far as I don't know if you got a chance to see my other videos, the settings where I was in my backyard in one of those videos, and I just uploaded a video. I recorded yesterday, uploaded today, just did it in my living room. So, and I'm just switching up the environment. I'm still trying to figure out where I could put that whiteboard. I'm trying to just see what areas I could get it because my
Yeah,
room is small, so I wouldn't know where to put it. So, I just know for me outside is a really good setting for me. I can start making videos outside. My
you
backyard, I
know,
don't know.
you know what would be so hard, bro?
What?
We gonna get it right now, bro. You just gave me the most fire idea. This shit's so fire, I might do it with you, right?
Okay.
So what you gonna have to do is, and it's nobody doing this. If you get a whiteboard like this with legs and go outside and like
Mm,
shirt off, boom,
okay.
wrap. It's
I
a
might do
wrap.
that. I'm gonna
Um,
do it.
so
Okay.
I would get one of these, bro. Make sure it's a big one. Um, I'm actually gonna find this and text it to you, so you ain't even gotta look. I'm gonna
Okay.
do it right now. Let me do it right now. I'm stop being a dweeb. But if you do this, bro, out because nobody's doing that. Um, and
Okay.
I did see thumbnail and a little bit of the introduction with the newest video you got. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna dive into it to have an analysis for you on our next call.
Okay.
Say right now, environment, you got it. That was way better. I believe you had a black white beater on and you was outside, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. If you
Okay.
would have did like when I'm thinking about your older videos that you was just sitting there, like we was talking about don't quit, you do don't quit like that, it's up.
Mm,
It's up, you
okay.
know.
Yeah.
That I think that'll be a great environment for you. But one thing I'll say, Edward, is that that's just we got to find you a couple of more, right? So I think the whiteboard outside is great. We got to find you 2 more, right?
Okay.
My arsenal is whiteboard, weight vests, walking and talking, and then I'm testing out like the desk with the red lights, right? So I got a few different things in my arsenal. We got to figure out yours. Right now we got I think the whiteboard outside is going to be your bread and butter. We'll see, but
Mhm.
it needs to be something else. It needs to be like, it could be you sitting in the grass under a tree. It could be you at a park. It could be you sitting on the hood of your car. It could be the inside of your car. It could be your
Yeah,
feet.
I have one. I uploaded two this week. There's another one I uploaded. I was literally just sitting outside my car. Because I changed. I was about to go to the gym. I said, let me record a video. So yeah, that one I recorded myself literally outside my car. The reborn video.
Hmm.
If it wasn't for the gym, I wouldn't be alive today. Kind of where I was at in my car.
That's hard. That's hard. All right, say no more, doggy. Actually, lie. Can you do what? Or do you have availability Friday?
Yeah. Friday at what time?
Anytime between 3 to 6 CST.
I'll probably say 6. 6 p.m.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna set you up right now for 6 CST.
Okay.
And I'll send over confirmation, brother. But if you got any questions in the meantime, hit me. But I did send over that. I just text you that whiteboard.
Yeah,
So
I got that.
get that as soon as you can. And
Mhm.
fuck it, bro. Like jump into the deep end. Like record the video we script out on there today or whenever
Yeah.
you get it.
Yes, I'm gonna do. Yeah. All right. Yeah, good birthday. I forgot to ask you, how was your birthday? I was watching the vlog yesterday. Looked pretty
It's the long one, doggy. I didn't expect you
long
to
one. I was
watch
like,
it.
damn, 2 hours. So yeah, it was a good one. I'm
It
gonna
was
watch it. I'm
good.
gonna continue watching it. I like watching your videos, man.
Thank you, bro. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate the support, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate the support. It was good though, man. I can't complain. I'm ready to lock back in though, doggy.
That's good. That's good. All right, Cry. Thank you so much for your help today, man.
You already know, brother. I'll see you next Friday, 6 p.m. CST.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you.
brother. You already
Mhm.
know. Peace.
All right, fellas, so you just saw a one-on-one call with my brother Edward. Edward has already made the physique transformation before he joined 1% Academy, so we're only working on building his YouTube for his coaching business, and that was a scripting session that we do in 1% Academy where I collab with my brothers and we script out videos together. If you want to work one-on-one with me and get the same system that I'm giving to Jonathan, the same system that I'm giving to Edward, the same system that propelled me to grow my YouTube so fast, I will put the link in the description. But do not book a call if you're not ready to put in the motherfucking work. It's time, brother. It's 80-something days left in 2025, man. Be both, right? I was reading a book, and it said the difference between rich people and poor people think which one? Rich people think both. Don't just be a fat fuck and grow your YouTube. Don't just be a jacked motherfucker, but not have a personal brand or know what the fuck you want to do with your life. Have it all. And it's time now. So that's the video for the fucking day. I love y'all. Peace.